Hello, hello, everyone. We are live. We are live. And thanks for coming in to the Tina Greer Show, Small Business Conversations. We are getting set up. I tell you, this technology is something else. And I am super excited to be here today. So make sure, we checking our phones and making sure that we are in here. But I wanted to first formally introduce my special guest for today, Miss Monique Russell. Hi, Monique. How you doing today?
Hello, Tina. I am so excited to be here. I am doing fantastic, actually. So I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Wonderful, wonderful. So as I'm getting here set up, we got folks coming in the room. You actually are able to share it out. So for those who are on my personal page, you can share it out to your tribe, as well as those who are joining us YouTube live. We are live streaming via our YouTube broadcast. And super excited. We got someone already saying hello, ladies. So you see me looking down. I'm getting my phone ready so I can see who's saying hello to us. So
Hey, Chin.
super
Thank
excited
you.
about that. All right, all right. We're going to keep this fun and informal, but yet formal in regards to the powerful information that we're going to talk about today, which is effective communication. And again, we have our special guest subject matter expert all about communication, Monique Russell. And for those who don't know Monique Russell, can I call you Monique?
You can call me Monique. You call me anything. There go my IG folks.
You got your IG folks going on? Okay.
Yes.
So I want to just briefly, for those who may not know Miss Russell, I want to share with you some information about her. Miss Russell is the founder and executive communications coach at Clear Communications Solutions. So I want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a communication expert. She is the communication expert that you want on your team. She teaches global leaders how teams on how to have positive and productive relationships at home and work using effective communication tools and strategies. Organizations like the Center for Disease Control, Verizon, Intel, Equifax, and the world's busiest airport, Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International, trust Monique to guide them in implementing communication strategies that foster connection, community, creativity, and courage. You can too. Monique has over 20 plus years experience in the science of communications and leads Clear Communication Solutions, an international training, coaching, and consulting firm that focuses on confidentially confidence communicating from the inside out. So please, again, help me welcome Miss Monique Russell.
Yay. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm walking on the red carpet, stepping in here, stepping on the Tina Greer show. Thank you, Tina, for having me on the show. I am looking forward to a great conversation today.
Yes, indeed. So that's what it's all about, is really getting out of your comfort zone and showing up, communicating to your audience, communicating to those who need your help. So utilizing social media is the best way to reach the most people. So
Yes.
I'm excited for you to be on our inaugural year. This is our first year. This is the result of the pivot I'm doing in my business is to bring on influential subject matter experts to help my audience, to help the small business owners really level up in their business, no matter what industry they're in. But we specifically focus on those who are government contractors, or contractors in general, whether it be commercial, private entity, or federal government contractors, because I think it's very important to understand it's not about just bidding and winning an opportunity, but you have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to effectively communicate your knowledge and expertise. So, Monique, we're going to get right. Go ahead and get started.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how did you get into this industry?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. How did I get into this industry? So I think communications chose me. I started speaking at the age of 8 in front of a live audience. I always tell everybody I started speaking at the age of 3 with my dog, right? With my dog, but 8 in front of like at least 100 people. So I started in church speaking, but communication was something that my mom had the intuition to see that I craved towards and I was gifted at. So she put me into a lot of different, academic and performing arts experiences that actually helped to cultivate my gift. So from elementary school, I think before I even got to college, I had delivered over 100 presentations, like in front of people. So it's definitely not something that just happened overnight. And I know that a lot of people don't have that specific trajectory I had because I studied journalism. I went to school for journalism. I specialized in this area. So this is in my DNA, like through and through. So communications, although I didn't have a straight path, it wasn't a straight line. I certainly have been in this field all my life.
Wow, that is amazing. And I'm glad that you're using your gifts and talents to really educate and inspire individuals like myself and those other entrepreneurs and business owners who are really trying to navigate through understanding how to connect with people, get their point across. So let me ask you a question in regards to engagement. I know that we don't have a whole lot of time, but I want to make sure that I get to the heart of sometimes the root of the problem. I hear from a lot of my clients is that the conveying of their message, their elevator pitch when they are out networking. Do you have some type of tips or strategies like that initial first contact when you're talking to someone who can possibly give you $1 million contract? Would you tell the audience how can you convey more effectively your experience and expertise via an elevator pitch?
That's a great question. And I will say from my experience, I know that this is an awkward thing, especially if you are trying to connect with someone that you don't know. It's kind of weird and awkward if you go into a room and you're trying to network and the whole environment isn't set up for you to have those conversations easily. So, like when we go networking and, you and I have bumped into so many networking events together.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Every time I'd show up somewhere, I'm like, Tina, what you doing here? So, but, if the environment isn't set up for, say, speed networking or where they're setting you up to have those facilitated conversations, what I have found is that a lot of women business owners, this is my target market, they don't really understand or have the clarity. That's the key. Like they don't have the clarity. The whole elevator pitch and the elevator speech is good, but if you don't have the clarity behind the message, you end up saying very generic things. For example, I know a lot of people talk about purpose and they talk about, wanting to help people. In fact, the other day I was in an online group and the question was posed, what do you like to do? How do you, talk about your business? And within minutes, so many responses were, we help people, or, we have great customer service. Well, the thing is, you have to really have a clarity and understanding of what your target audience is. You have to really narrow that down, be very clear and focused, and be able to identify how your story fits into their need. This is very important. This is crucial. So you guys want to take notes. You have to be able to identify how your story fits their need. This is how you're going to stand out because everybody else is going, hi, I'm Monique Russell. What do you do? Oh, I'm a tax attorney. Oh, I am a pharmacist. Okay, there are hundreds of pharmacists, there are hundreds of attorneys, but what is unique about you? For example, I am an executive coach, I'm a communication strategist, and I'm a speaker. Well, if I say that and there are 10 people just like me in the room, how am I going to differentiate and make a lasting impact on you so that I'm memorable, right?
Right.
Some of the things that I typically do is I bring out what's unique to me as identifiers. So I'm from the islands, I'm from the Bahamas, I'm from Nigeria, and I know we're talking about networking. We haven't gone straight to the meat. This is a strategy and a technique. We haven't gone straight to the meat of what it is that you do because you got to learn about what you do first. In the first 3 seconds, someone is going to size you up and they're going to determine if they want to even continue to have that conversation with you when they are networking with you. So you have 3 minutes to differentiate yourself and make yourself interesting or appealing to talk to. And from there, then that conversation can move on into what you do. Everybody else starts with what you do. Okay, I am a business coach. I'm a marketing coach. I'm a strategist. Those are very generic. But when I show up and I say, I help women business owners turn likes into loves. Oh, what's that?
Yes, it's like, oh, I'm intrigued now.
What do you mean by that?
You lean in then.
So now we start to have a different type of conversation. So there are different techniques and strategies when you're networking and you're building connections with people that you don't know in an environment where you may not know anyone. So having the clarity in who you are and what you offer and the language to articulate that succinctly.
Wow, that is amazing.
So long. They take a long time to talk about what it is they do. And people tune out. They tune out. So you have to be able to get very clear, differentiate yourself, start with something other than what you do, because that's boring. But you can't be creative if you're not clear.
Right. And when you have clarity and you have that confidence as well, and you're able to walk taller, and with your shoulders back and say, I'm ready to solve whatever problem that you have, to your targeted audience. And I'm glad you talked about clarity, because that ties into, in the government contracting space and even the corporate contracts, your capability statement. Your capability statement has to have the clarity in what is your differentiators. You talked about what sets you apart, and you convey that information in your capability statement to those decision makers. I think that is right on point in regards to conveying that effective message through articulating your expertise. And with government contracting, networking is key, is crucial to getting a contract, not just preparing a compliant proposal, but there's other things that go into it in regards to winning that contract. And networking, effective networking via communication, is definitely one of the main drivers. Now, can you tell our audience in regards to articulating our value, or having the clarity to convey that to the written word when you're answering the challenge that the government has on a proposal submission? You have to, as the government contractor, are there to provide the solution, to compete for the opportunity for the contract award. How can you utilize your messaging in the written form to provide that to the decision makers to pick you? Can you give us some strategies or tips on that?
Okay, so and another great question. So before I jump into that, I'm going to really talk about this first. When it comes to communication and clarity, you definitely have to focus on your audience. So there's not a one size fits all. If you're pitching to a corporate company and you're pitching, well, in government we say industry, right? So if you are pitching to industry companies, and if you're pitching to government organizations, that's an entirely different group of people. And I'll find that in government conversations or government contracting and proposals, you have to know your audience. You have to know that typically they want you to follow step by step what the rules are. They don't want to hear your story and how awesome you are. They want to know that you can get the job done. That's number one, first and foremost. So when you take your message, you have to be as succinct and clear as possible. You have to put yourself in the shoe of that government contracting officer. Just really put on that hat. Put on that hat and say, you know what? I'm the one that's the government contracting officer. I'm going through hundreds of proposals to determine which one is the best. Don't go with these boilerplate, traditional forms of pitching and proposal writing. You want to be very focused and clear to address what their pain point is. So once you put yourself in their shoes, which is emotional intelligence, this is my skill set, my expertise. You're putting yourself in their shoe. You're not focusing on all the great things that your company has done first. You're focusing on their pain point. And when you boil down your message to address the challenge, how you differentiate yourself in the written word is that you describe with data. Government officers love data. They love past performance. They love to know that you have a history or a track record. How did you save another company or another government agency money? Maybe you might be offering the same service and you have 10 people competing for the same job. Well, how are you going to articulate that maybe you have a better technology or an all-encompassing technology, which if they choose you, they're going to be able to access this information in a much more seamless and strategic way as opposed to multiple different parts. Or maybe you have a process of project management. Government contracts have a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. Oh my God, sometimes it's a deterrent. I look at some of those things, Tina, I was like, Lord have mercy. I mean, but if you got, a couple $100,000 on the line, you go, Lord have mercy. Let me take this paperwork one paper at a time.
Right.
You want to say like, look, if you have a transparent process, maybe you have some project managers or program managers on your team who deliver exceptional results. You want to highlight that in your narrative when you're writing for your government proposal. You want to have a theme. A lot of people, they don't have a theme. What is the concurrent theme that's when I read it as the government contracting officer, what is the theme that is coming through your proposal consistently throughout your pitch? Because you're marketing, you're getting into the psychology of the reader. You're marketing through your words, you're marketing through your layout, you're marketing through your message. So there are many different aspects of communicating in the written form to make sure that your proposal is received. There's no guarantee, of course, but you're just increasing your chance to gain and win the business.
Exactly. I'm glad you talked about that, the storyboarding that you do when you first identify this is the opportunity we're going to bid on. You make that decision and then you create a storyboard of what that story is going to be, how you're going to lay it out to provide that solution, that value proposition to say, we are the company that can solve your problem, government contractor. And this is how we're going to do it. I was actually working with a client the other night, and I was telling them that even in pricing, your pricing creates a story. You should be able to go over your numbers that you're calculating to tell the government contractor how you're going to do that project and how you came to that final bill rate. So that's a story in itself as well. But when you gain that confidence and clarity in knowing how to approach it through effective communication via written word, via number calculation formulas and so forth, you are going to be better for it, and you're going to actually have a higher win ratio at the end of the day.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I could even tell you from experience, I know when I first started pitching and several years ago, oh my God, that pricing piece is always the most difficult and challenging if you don't have a strategy or a technique. So in the beginning, I lost so many pitches for foolish reasons. Foolish reasons. But you grow and you learn and you start somewhere. So anybody that is listening or watching, I don't want you to feel discouraged and say, okay, I don't have that much knowledge or expertise or technical know-how, because you got to start somewhere. And when you start somewhere, you only lose the shots that you don't take. So, show up. And like Tina, you said, the networking piece is key. I think 90% of the government opportunities that we've been able to secure have been through referrals and networking.
Be in the know. Get in there.
Be connected.
Agencies talk to one another.
Yeah, Gumption. Facts. Yes. Thank you, Purcell.
So actually, we're streaming Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We are all out here just really sharing the knowledge in, effective communications, how to, be able to not lose money, even win more contracts, and also make more money through effectively communicating your concept, your ideals, your strategies to those who are going to make those ultimate decisions. So I want to flip the script a little bit, Monique. So I want to talk about communication and lack of effective communication, how that can hinder or hurt your business, especially when you're working on a project. Let's say you've submitted your proposal, you won the contract, but maybe in execution, you're not communicating with your team, or you're not communicating in regards to the how you're supposed to deliver your product, communicating with that agency. Can you tell the audience in regards to how that can hinder what you're trying to do, especially your bottom line?
Oh my God, I could tell you exactly how that could hinder you, because once you have secured that contract and you have that government contract and you feel like, oh my God, you know what? We went in, we in it. Hey, listen, don't do that. Because if your team, that's another thing with communication, but this even goes on the front end of assembling your team. If you're not, a big company, and if you assemble teams and you collaborate strategically to go after bigger opportunities, you want to be strategic in the team that you assemble. So you want to make sure that you understand their communication styles, their personality styles. You have clear guidelines of how are we going to work? How are we going to communicate? How are we going to check in? If there is a problem, how are we going to address that? I find having these conversations and setting these expectations on the front end, when we still in the hype and high mode and we just win this contract and we getting ready to do some big things, let's sit down right now when we're hyped up, and let's talk about when the stuff hits the fan. All right. How are we going to address this? Let's lay these things out right now. You might go ahead and you might deliver through on your contract, but if your deliverables are not done in a way that is acceptable or timely or transparent to the government agency, I mean, you're just not going to get repeat business. You're not going to get repeat business. You will also probably get a negative rating. And every other, that's like a negative rating in the system is like being blackballed. Okay. So every officer will go in there. It's like your credit score, or your bankruptcy history or whatever have you. They will go in there and they will look and they will say, okay, this person had a government contract and was not able to fulfill on it, or maybe their attitude was, not appealing, or maybe they had dysfunction within their organization, or it was late, or it was sloppy, or the myriad of issues and reasons that honestly any team struggling with an ineffective communication faces. So when we bring in the whole emotional intelligence aspect and making sure that everybody is self-aware, if there is an issue, you want to be able to have those protocols in place if it feels uncomfortable, because this is where we bring in a lot of emotions. And if we're really honest, a lot of people have conversations, difficult conversations they need to have with members of their team or even their family members that they haven't had and they're not willing to have, because they are hiding away from the discomfort that the conflict will cause them. But it does never go away. I have learned over the years, and through coaching, consulting, and through working on teams and helping teams get to clarity, I have learned that the issues never go away. So you have to really lean in with the tools and the techniques to address the conflict in a way that everyone feels honored and respected, so that they won't feel, slighted at the end of the day. But as it relates to your bottom line, it's absolutely a no-brainer. Word of mouth goes around very quickly in government circles, and you could just be out of opportunities.
Yes, definitely. So can be very detrimental to your business. And one of the things that when I've worked with teams in government contracting, because lack of communication or is sitting on a person's desk, and I need that information in order to do my job, in order to be able to meet the deadline to submit the proposal. And, that can also be very stressful at the end of the day, because someone said, oh, I didn't think you needed it right now. Oh, I thought I can give it to you next week. That lack of effective communication. Now we've missed the deadline for proposal submission. And all that labor, time, energy, all that is money that is lost because we couldn't even submit on time.
That would frustrate me. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Tina. That would frustrate me, because you know how long it takes to develop these proposals, and then to be able to just miss that opportunity because we couldn't get it in. Let me miss the opportunity because we were not as competitive. Let me miss that opportunity because we were priced too high or priced too low. Don't let me miss the opportunity because my own team couldn't get it together.
Yes. Right. So that is why, guys, we are having this conversation and giving you scenarios and case studies to really help you and help really help you elevate your business in regards to the importance of effective communication in your business, effective communication and clarity in your life, how that all intertwines in regards to really taking it up a notch, to be able to engage and be effective in articulating your issue, your problem, or even your solution to the requirements of whatever you're trying to go after in business. So it is very important. I tell you, this is it's like we almost 7:30.
Really? Oh my God, we just been going so far. Hey, Dr. DJ. Hi, Ann. Thank you, Insta family, giving me some love. I hope you all enjoying the conversation.
I hope so too. We got Dr. DJ on YouTube. I tell you, we got people chiming in from all over. We got Tamika Stafford is on, Tanya Morris.
Hey, Tamika.
Jelly Trice. And we got a lot of folks watching us, right? A lot of folks watching us. That's the beauty about social media, especially while being in this environment of pivoting and also just really taking advantage of this virtual space. I think a lot of people that we may not know personally can still be touched and be able to utilize this information.
Absolutely.
And why I do this show is to really bring out the best of the best to share with you guys and give that value add, that expertise to, really give you clarity in your business as a small business owner. So we are bringing this information directly to you in the comfort of your own home in kind of your own space wherever you are, even if you're on mobile, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're going to have LinkedIn on here very soon.
Hey, we all in the internet streets, okay?
Yeah. Up and down the internet streets. We up and down. And look, I know that's not proper English. We up and down. Hey, you know what I mean.
I know.
100.
Again, know your audience. So we could be cool and casual, like that. You know your audience. Maybe if we were on Bloomberg, we may not be, as casual. We may be a little formal, but always know your audience. So.
Right. So let me ask you, Monique, what do you have going on? How can individuals reach out to you? You want to make sure that give you the platform for that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I know your people are all about government contracts and government contracting. And as it relates to getting clarity and making sure that you have a clear message, I specialize in this. I will come in as your trusted advisor, and I will help you to clarify your message and help you to determine how you stand out. This is something that many business owners, small business owners fail to do. But my clients, when we are able to work with them strategically, they exponentially increase their bottom line. That's just period, point blank, end of day. Outside of that, I work with a lot of women business owners who want to articulate their message and build their presence and maximize their impact, their brand all around the world. So we work one-on-one, we work in a group, and we get really clear and focused on their message. We touch into their story using emotion so that they can leverage it to gain clients and to increase their exposure. So anyone who's interested in working with me in those ways, you can reach out to me on my website at clearcommunicationsolutions.com or on LinkedIn, Clear Communication Coach, anywhere on the internet, Clear Communication Coach, really. And then we also have a couple workshops, like virtual presentation skills, but reach out to me because surely if there's something related to interpersonal or intrapersonal communications and you're looking to turn your likes into loves in your business and life, there's no one out there who can help you get this clarity faster using emotional intelligence and public speaking.
Oh, that is awesome. I loved your presentation on likes into loves as well. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. So guys, you see, this is her website on the banner here. So definitely reach out to Monique, schedule a consult, and definitely engage in her coaching sessions and consultation sessions. So thanks again. And also, I want to let those who know me as your government contracts coach, I actually have a free challenge that is coming up starting on October the 12th. And here is the link to register. It is a free 5-day challenge. You are going to learn how to prepare proposals, do market research, understand government contracting language, and position your company to start to bid on government contracts. So I'm excited about that. And it is a bit.ly link, GS Contracts Challenge 3. It is a free event, starts October the 12th. So get in there, save your seat, and register today. So I am truly excited and happy to have you, Monique, on the show today. You have dropped some knowledge, some trinkets, some golden strategies to help the business owners, especially the small business owners, in their business to communicate more effectively and understand to stop before you speak and really think about what you're going to say to really articulate what you want to say to win over your clients. So I'm excited that you've joined us today. We still got comments coming in. We have someone here saying thanks for sharing, ladies. We have another one. Enjoyed the evening. So, it has been informative today, and we truly appreciate everyone that have joined the Tina Greer Show Small Business Conversations. So without further ado, we are going to end it for tonight. Thank you, Ms. Russell, again. Clear Communication Solutions and Greer Business Solutions. These are the solutions women, right?
Definitely. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And I'm here to help you, small businesses. I'm a small business. I am here to help you win and get your message clear and take an opportunity of all these government contracts that are out here waiting for you.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to conclude our show for today. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Did you